What is going on, guys? Jeff here for Mad Hatter's Reef, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 saltwater fish that eat plants. Welcome back to another episode of Mad Hatter's Reef, where we talk about everything reef tank related. So if you're new to the channel and love reef tanks, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. Now, when I first got started in the hobby, the fish is what brought me in, and I fell in love with fish and eventually moved on to corals. Now, the fish that I tend to keep nowadays are fish that serve a purpose or perform a job. And one of the biggest jobs that a fish can do for you is actually clean your tank. And these fish that require a plant-based diet are going to constantly be cruising through your tank and picking at the rocks, cleaning the glass, and doing an amazing job cleaning parts of your tank that you're never ever going to be able to get to. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you have a good balance of plant eating, herbivore, whatever you want to call them, saltwater fish in your reef tank. So that's why we're going to take a look at the top 10 saltwater fish that eat plants. So let's jump into it. Alright, guys, so we're going to be taking a look at some fish over at liveaquarium.com. So I wanted to give them a little bit of a shout here before we got into the meat and potatoes of this video, because we are going to be using images from this website. You got to give credit where credit is due, and for all of you guys out there that worry about who's getting paid for what, this is not a sponsored video. Coming in at number 10 on our top 10 fish that eat plants is the Foxface Rabbitfish. Now, this guy comes with a moderate size price tag. Usually you're going to find them between $40 and $60. They are considered easy to care for, have a peaceful temperament, require them plants. They got that herbivore diet, and that's why he's on our list. They are reef safe with caution. They do have a tendency to pick on LPS corals from time to time, so it's something that you're going to want to take into consideration before adding one of these guys to your tank. If you're a LPS lover, they can grow upwards of 9 inches and require a tank size of 125 gallons. And anytime that you're talking about the Foxface Rabbitfish, you need to talk about some of the concerns that come with them, and that's the venom within their spines. And it's more of a defense mechanism. They're not just going around slapping around other fish or even the tank owners. It is a natural defense, and if something were to try to eat it, at that point, that's when the venom would enter into whatever's trying to consume the Foxface Rabbitfish and decide that that is not going to work out for them. Definitely a consideration that needs to have a full understanding before purchasing this fish. Coming in at number 9 on our top 10 saltwater fish for plant consumption is the Malli. Huh?
He doesn't know that that's supposed to be a freshwater fish. Don't put freshwater fishes in your saltwater tank.
Never mind you. Even though that this fish is not a saltwater fish, and even though that this fish is a omnivore, saltwater mollies can actually do a pretty good job of cleaning up the rock work within your tank. And it does take an extremely long time to convert this fish over to saltwater, but it can be done and has been done for many years. Now, the first time that I actually saw a saltwater molly was on Garf's channel. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Garf, they are the OGs of sharing information with reef tank hobbyists. And I strongly recommend that after you watch this video, Google yourself some Garf and do some research, because there's some amazing old school articles and videos available on their website. Coming in at number 8 on our top 10 saltwater fish who eat plants is the coal yellow Eye Tang. As far as this guy goes, he comes with a average price tag of that $60 to $80 range. Is considered a moderate care level fish, semi-aggressive like most tangs are, has that herbivore diet, needs those plants, and is considered reef safe. Now, these guys can grow upwards of 7 inches and require a minimum tank size of 70 gallons. Now, this tank is an absolute stunner in a reef tank. Now, this picture doesn't really give a whole lot of credit where credit is due, but this is an absolute beautiful fish, and I definitely recommend, if you are looking for a tang, check out the yellow Eye Tang. Coming in at number 7 on our top 10 saltwater fish who eat plants is the tail spot blenny. Now, this guy is a personal favorite of mine, and I believe it's the males that develop a very strong blue coloration in the head, which is absolutely stunning if you see one in person. This fish is considered easy to care for, has a peaceful temperament, needs those plants, is considered reef safe, can grow upwards of 2.5 inches, and can fit into a 10-gallon tank or bigger. These are a great fish, and they will devour all the plants that are growing within the rock work, on the glass. They do an amazing job of keeping everything clean, and that's what makes them a great addition to any reef tank. Coming in at number 6 on our top 10 saltwater fish who eat plants is the yellow tang. Now, this guy is one of the hardest working tangs in the reef tank game. Typical asking price, you're going to find these guys anywhere from $45 up to $70. It really depends on the size and location in which they're coming from. And if you can find yourself one of those tank raised ones, that's always a good buy. They are considered easy to care for, semi-aggressive like most tangs are a plant-eating fish. That's why they're on this list. Is reef safe and can grow upwards of 8 inches and requires a minimum tank size of 100 gallons. Beautiful fish, great addition to any reef tank, the yellow tang. Coming in at number 5 on our top 10 fishies who eat plants is the magnificent Foxface. Now, these guys, I actually had an opportunity to pick one up a long time ago when I bought the 220-gallon tank. The guy was like, "Yeah, you want one of these?" And I really just didn't. I don't know why. I was like, "Nope, I don't want it." And come to find out years later, I absolutely love them. They're gorgeous, and I really should have taken it when I had the chance. The price tag on these guys are a little bit steeper, and that really has to do with the collection zone being a little bit smaller for this fish than with the regular Foxface Rabbitfish. Their care level is considered moderate. Their temperament peaceful. They require those plants. They are reef safe with caution because they do have a tendency to pick on corals from time to time. So that's a fish that you want to make sure that is not going to eat corals before you put it into your tank, especially if you have a established reef tank. They can grow upwards of 9 inches and require a tank of 125 gallons or bigger. Coming in at number 4 on our top 10 fishies who eat plants is the Chevron Tank. Now, this guy comes with a heavy price tag, is a absolute beautiful addition to any reef tank, is considered moderate care level, has that semi-aggressive temperament, is reef safe, requires plant-based diet, and can grow upwards of 11 inches. That's pretty big, and that's why it requires a minimum tank size of 180 gallons. Absolute beautiful tang, gorgeous coloration, definitely a worker, and that's why it's a great addition to any reef tank, and that's why it's on our top 10 saltwater fish who eat plants. Coming in at number 3 is the Sailfin Benny, probably the best priced fish on this list coming in. Ballpark, you're going to find them for about $20 to $30. And they are considered easy to care for, have a peaceful temperament, require those plant-based diets, is considered reef safe, can grow upwards of 5 inches, but only requires a minimum tank size of 30 gallons. They are very sight-orientated in their traveling behavior, a little lazy, one would say, but that makes them a great addition to any small to medium-sized tank. Coming in at number 2 on our top 10 saltwater fish who eat plants is the Mimic Half-Black Tang. These guys are very interesting in their shape, but they are considered in the tang family, which makes them a very good little herbivore. Very beautiful, where it has like that almost grayish flesh tone to that black with the blue line on the fins. Gorgeous fish, and actually is pretty reasonable in its price here. You can see it's $29.99. It is considered easy to care for, has that semi-aggressive temperament, is reef safe, can grow upwards of 10 inches, pretty large, and requires a minimum tank size of 125 gallons. Coming in at number 1 on our top 10 saltwater fish who eat plants is the purple tang. Probably the most beautiful saltwater fish that is in existence. They do pack a punch with the price tag, coming in at our typical $250 to $400 range, and they are considered moderate care level, semi-aggressive, need those plants, are reef safe, can grow upwards of 10 inches, and require a tank size of 125 gallons or bigger. All right, folks, that's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't picked yourself up a Mad Hatter's Reef / Mystery Reef Box and or Saltwater Aquarium Radio t-shirt, there are links down in the description below, which will bring you to Mystery Reef Box Shop. That's my store where you can pick yourself up that and a bunch of other goodies if you're in the market for reef tank related items. We also sell corals over there as well. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you next week right here with a brand new video.